Sport tonight, another in our current series of Highlander profiles. This time it's lock Culum Retallick.
Well, Culum, let's start with your name, Retallick. It's an unusual one. What's the origins of that name?
Originally we're from the south of England, Cornwall, and it's my great grandparents that came over on the boat and went to a little town called Amberley, which is 30 minutes north of Christchurch, and then they've been there ever since, and my parents grew up there. So it's a little port called Saltwater Creek. There's a creek back in the day. It was apparently used to have heaps of ships and all that in there. So, but it's nothing there now. It's good for white baiting. That's about it.
Do you know what they did? What brought them to New Zealand?
I'm not too sure. I think it was the settlers. They just you paid a bit of money and you came over there. I think you were guaranteed a block of land or something like that. That's what they came over for.
There's a few in New Zealand, is there? Have you come across many?
There's Retallicks in Auckland, but they're no relation. Right. But all the rest are related.
Okay, that's right. Which is, of course, your cousin, isn't it? Like
yeah,
Chiefs.
Yeah. Brody, he's at the Chiefs, so he grew up. He grew up in Amberley, so he's up there now. He's having a good season so far. A good couple of games. So.
What's the age difference there?
He's 20. He was playing the under 20s last year for New Zealand, and I'm 27, so we've got an age difference there. So.
You've not played together at any stage, have you?
Nah, it's a little bit disappointing. It would have been good to, obviously down here, it would have been good to have a run off him at the Chiefs, but I've enticed him to sign. He's signed with Bar Plenty, so this season should be good. We've got to lock horns together. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with your early days in Christchurch. Rugby days. What's the sort of first memory even playing the game?
Probably I grew up in a little town called Woodend. Probably just me and my brother kicking around in the backyard. Would have been the earliest moment. We'd go and watch Dad play. So he actually played with Kieran Kane, the backs coach.
At club level?
At club level, yeah. And who else? Wayne Smith was in the team in that. Billy Bush. Had a few old... I think they won every game, but no, they never lost the game but didn't win the competition.
Can you explain that?
KK was telling me about it. They had a few they had a few draws, but didn't lose. But they didn't make the semis, so they never lost, but they never won the competition. Sounds a bit bizarre, really, doesn't it?
What club was that?
Belfast, yeah.
Great clubs in the Canterbury area.
Yeah.
So is that where you progressed?
No, I originally I've played in Woodend, and then I went to school. Actually, Shirley Boys. I went to school there, then played footy then, and then I was always in the Canterbury teams and that. But when a guy called Ray Southam, don't know if you ever know, he was a Linwood joker. He went over and played for. I started coaching for an Ireland, and he did them in I think it was the 91 or 95 World Cup as like a technical advisor, whatever. And he came back. And I was playing my first year of seniors straight out of school, and he said to me, "Oh, it'd be interesting going over there and playing some footy." So I went over there, especially for 8 months, and stayed for nearly 2 years. And I suppose I was always keen on my footy, but over there I just enjoyed having a look around. And then I came back, and then really got in the swing of things when I got back into New Zealand. Yeah.
So what sort of age were you when you returned?
I came back, and I was just for my 21st birthday. So, and then I had a year for Canterbury B, and then Bar Plenty were their two locks, Mark Science, and then I think it was Bernie Upton. Both went overseas or shifted around, and got in contact with the engineer, went up there.
Were you in the frame though for Canterbury? Did you feel that was probably just too hard to break through?
I was in the academy and playing Canterbury, but they had at that stage, I think, as I remember, there was Craig Clark and Isaac Ross were both in the Canterbury B with me, and then the Canterbury team was Norm Maxwell, who'd just come back from overseas, Kevin O'Neill, I think Reuben Thorne had finished with the All Blacks and was just playing that under Canterbury, so there's plenty of locks there. I was pushing up the hill, up Everest there a bit, so it's probably the best move I've made to head up north.
What about lifestyle-wise? The Bay of Plenty attractive?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I bought a house up there. I'll probably end up settling down, living there. I love it up there. It's you don't get any frost, so, which is a good thing. Yeah, so no, I like the surfing and stuff like that at the beach, so it's right up my alley up there, yeah.
So obviously the rugby, though, it's given you the break that you're enjoying today. So you're enjoying the whole framework of the football.
Yeah, it's a great way to, I suppose, see New Zealand and get around the country. But it's also you can't beat playing with 30 odd mates or something, knocking around and meeting new guys and stuff like that, networking, and it's I suppose people say rugby players are lucky, and they are. On that side of thing, there's always doors opening for you. But you suppose you just got to make the most of them.
First rep game, where, when, what do you remember?
I think I was playing North Canterbury under 10s, and that was I can't really. It would have been I'd say a cold day in Christchurch somewhere.
All right, what about as let's say at NPC level then?
I always remember my first year bar plenty, just pure fact that we came dead last, and then that year we had no money, and it was probably a bit of an eye opener of what was it all about. It was like going into a team where you had heaps of enthusiasm and wanted to play hard out, and how negative rugby could be in your first year, in the sense that just because it wasn't going very well, people would doubting you, saying who's this, why they got this guy up here and all that type of thing. I think it was a real interesting year to be a part of it. It's pretty cutthroat an industry like that too, yeah.
But did you feel uncertain about yourself because there was that financial problem, and of course whether they even could carry on at one point?
Yeah, in that first year, I probably only started half the games and come off the bench the rest of the time, but I suppose I never doubted myself, but it was more, how an environment when you're losing is so much different to an environment when you're winning, and it's always trying to keep, so it's the hardest thing for a rugby team is trying to keep that environment when you're losing like when you're winning, and I suppose that was probably one of the hardest things I struggled with when I first made it, yeah. But saying that, it probably made our team the following year. We went really good, and we had no money. We used to cook our own feeds before the games. We would bus everywhere. We never flew, and that probably brought us a few guys left. It probably brought us tighter together, which was probably since then I've slowly been climbing the ladder a bit.
And being consistently a competitive team too. It wasn't just a one season turnaround, was it?
No, I think the good thing about them is after that year we got dicked. They bought a lot of players on potential that with no money, and they did. So they were looking for an opportunity, and the Bay gave them one that kind of repaid the face. And then after a while, they got back up on their feet, and then they could attract some better players. But they were always loyal. So far since I've been there, they've been pretty loyal to those guys that in that year, those couple of years that got stuck in, got them out of it, yeah. And
there's been opportunities, super franchise opportunities for those who did prove themselves on that platform.
Yeah, they had. So, I remember that my first year there was only about two, three guys in the Chiefs. Then now there's, in the last few years there was I think a good 5 or 6 in the Chiefs, and then 2 or 3 always in the water. So it's been, that's probably helped the development too. You had
water experience, did you?
Yeah, I was first in the water with the Chiefs, and then had 3 years with them. So it was good bunch of boys there. With Chiefs boys, it was good.
What first Super game?
First Super game was in Durban in South Africa, and
that's a hard start, isn't it?
Yeah, and we just won in the last minute with a penalty, and I came on. I was on at half time. Kevin O'Neill got pulled his Achilles, and so I came on. So yeah, that was interesting. It's just a different world over there.
It's a big step up from NPC, from ITM Cup.
Yeah, I think it's a big step up in the sense that there's more emphasis on you doing your core roles. Like at NPC, you can say if you don't take a kick off, you can recover from that, and where at Super 14, if you don't take your kick off, the opposition gets the ball and they usually can get points or score from there. Where it's just the little things like that, or like cleaning a ruck. So if you can't clean the ruck, so you get turnover. At NBC, you can probably put a couple more numbers in there and get the ball back. Where at Super 14, you don't clean that guy, he's on the ball and it's a turnover. So just little things like I think that's the big emphasis.
Because of the physical demand in your body, you've got big South African packs, so you've got giants, and they say you're getting a pounding.
Oh yeah, it's why it's probably for the big squads are needed. So in the long competition, I think the teams that go good will be the teams with a good squad.
And the connection with the Highlanders, how did that come about?
I actually I was signed with the Chiefs, that had an out clause to go to a different franchise. And they pretty much told me that they were signing another three. There was three of us already signed. They were signing 3 more locks, and if I wanted to stay around, I could. If I didn't want to, I could go somewhere. And I kind of got the feeling that they didn't really wanted me, but it was a bit disappointing in the sense that I wanted to have a play for your cousin, but that's how it turned up. But I'm good mates with Chris LePage, the video analyst guy. He was was for the Bay when I first went up there. I used to live with him, so he just rang me up out of the blue and said to me what was I doing, and then next thing you know I had a call from Jamie asking if I was interested to come down. So yeah.
And your impressions of life down here?
It's been awesome so far. I think I came down in the right year in the sense that there's a brand new stadium next door, which is pretty cool to play in, and it's a great bunch of lads and all that. So the good thing about down here is that everyone's in the same boat together. Everyone's from out of the town pretty much. Only 2 guys from Otago, so everyone gets on with house on fire.
And that house is on fire when there's a full house in
there.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable on the weekend. It was first time I've played there, and that crowd was, you couldn't even hear in there. It was so noisy. It was awesome. I suppose good to have a win like that over probably the best team in the competition, and first home game like that. It was awesome.
Does make it the season start a lot sweeter, doesn't it? With two victories.
That's right, 2 victories from 2. So I think I probably going into the season we probably didn't have the best pre-season game, but we was certainly first game and we've turned up and you've got the ball rolling now. We've just got to keep going.
And it seems it's very much a 30-man type squad. Everyone is contributing. It's not just the first 15.
Exactly, I think, yeah. Well, the Japanese boys certainly learned that, getting off the plane on Thursday and playing Saturday. So, yeah, it's all hands on deck. So I'm sure we're going to get tested now with the depth, and I suppose we are at the moment with the amount of injuries in the backs and that. So when they all come back, there's going to be some real competition for spots, I guess.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mentally, there's a lot of fortitude shown because you had that horrific run with injuries. Every time you looked at the back line, it was different. So to get round that shows the maturity of the team.
Yeah, I guess in the sense that there's been guys got like the likes of Full Burley called in from another wider training group. There's Buxton, he's having a run. He's called in from the wider training group. I think the good thing about down here is I know and teams gone past it, the wider training they wouldn't really consider them. Where down here, Jamie's if you're the playing better, he'll take you. And I suppose you look at Buxton, he's starting ahead of a couple of guys that are in the squad because he got called in, so because he's playing well and training well, so the door's always open, which is, I think, from a player's point of view, if you put your hand up, I think he's going to take you. All
right, who have they landed you with? Who are you bunking down with?
I'm just my partner and a couple of kids, so yeah. So
you don't have to flat with anyone.
Nah. So it's been my partner and family really enjoying it down here. So it's been really good so far. Yeah.
Are the kids school age yet? Or
yeah, Jada's she's 7 and Toby's just 5 months. So keep me on my toes anyway.
Are they tall? Or prospective?
Not too bad. Toby's getting big though. I think he likes his milk too much, but no, he'll be a big boy, I'd say.
That's important, isn't it? Because you're going to be on the road a lot for your family to move down here and be new to town. They have to be comfortable.
Oh, exactly, and I think here it's there's a lot of emphasis goes on looking after the family side of it because everyone's from out of town. They're all in the same boat together, so they get on with each other. Lisa does a great job with that. Just like for our camp, we went to Wanaka for a week, and all our family and partners went and come and stayed with us. We trained in the morning and have the afternoons off and spend it with your families together, the mix of England. That's the first time I've been in a rugby team where that's happened today, so which is awesome especially for the ladies. You know, they get to know each other and spend a bit of time together.
Makes it a whole family, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
What about outside football? How do you amuse yourself when you want to get right away?
I love the surfing, so that's how I get out in the water. It's been a bit chilly though. She's no Mount Wanganui down here, but no, it's been really enjoying it so far. Yes, some great beaches and stuff like that. So down at St Clair and over to Blackheads, and one of the other boys in the water training group, Liam Coltman, he's a bit of a keen surfer. He's taken me around the peninsula a couple of times, so it's just been pretty good fun.
What about the future? Because you've had your OE, haven't you? So that's not maybe that temptation's not there for you. But would you think of going back again now you've got such a young family?
I suppose your rugby career is only you're only in the game for 10 years, you know, or if you're lucky, you know. So I suppose where you can't be too fussy with where you're going. I suppose at the end of the day, I suppose like it or not, money dictates a wee bit to you where you're going, especially if you're probably not an All Black. All Blacks probably can get well looked after and they can kind of dictate where they want to go a wee bit, where I suppose us troopers, I'll call us, you can't be too fussy where you want to go to, I guess, but I'd love to go to have a look in Japan or France. Would be pretty cool, I would have thought. Yeah.
Did you have a career before, a job that you can go back to if you have to, non-rugby?
I did, when I left school, I did a builder's apprenticeship. When I came back from overseas, I did about for 6 months. I haven't had the hands on the tools yet for a while, so.
Well, Case will get you on that one.
Yeah. So, but I'm currently looking at getting into a business in the Mount at the moment. So, yeah. So hopefully that will be up and running before not too soon. So, yeah.